Good morning, I'm Dilip Thakore, editor of EducationWorld.
Good morning, I'm Summiya Yasmeen Managing Editor.
It's well known that India's government schools are among the worst managed schools in the whole world. But private schools enjoy a different reputation. How deserved is that reputation? Are they really well managed institutions? They have excellent infrastructure.
Correct.
They have a good reputation, and by Indian standards they charge high fees. But how well are they actually by world standards? In the latest issue of Education World, we have addressed this issue. We have written a story called the Institution Development Mantras of India's
Top ranked
schools. As per our own rankings, which is the EducationWorld Annual Rankings, which is the world's largest school rankings exercise. The background of the story is that in 2014 a study was conducted by educationists based in Harvard, London School of Economics, and 3 or 4 top universities abroad. And they did a ranking of schools in several countries, including UK, US,
Sweden,
and in India also. But in India, the schools they assessed were not government schools, which are a bit beyond the pale, but private aided schools, government aided schools.
Yes.
And unsurprisingly, the lowest ranking was of India. In fact, it indicated that out of a possible 5, maximum 5 for management best practices, India got only 1.7, whereas the highest score was awarded to
schools
Britain,
in the UK.
in Britain, of 2.9. But it's important to note that the study doesn't include India's private unaided schools.
It doesn't include our top international schools, it doesn't include our top ICSE and CBSE affiliated schools.
Which are independent schools. It only covers private aided schools. So in this issue, we have focused the lens how actually well managed are our private unaided schools. That over 300,000 of them in India. And
the interesting part about this story is that we have done co-ed schools, we've done boarding schools, we've done international schools. So
all top ranked.
Yes. So educators across India would like to emulate and to replicate the practices of India's top ranked school will find a match,
lot of material.
Yeah, a lot of material and a match. A co-ed day school could be inspired by Vasant Valley.
Yes.
A co-ed boarding school could be inspired by Rishi Valley.
Yes, exactly.
And our second lead feature is equally interesting. It's a wealth of information for early childhood educators. Education World hosted its 9th Early Childhood Education Conference recently, that's last month in Bangalore, which was a huge success. Over 350 of India's top early childhood educators had gathered in Bangalore to deliberate on ways and means to upgrade and to provide each one of India's early childhood educators.
Yeah, the important thing to note is early childhood education, that is children below age 5, has been a totally neglected area of education for the last 50 years.
Yeah.
The result, whereas latest research in the West shows that early childhood education is perhaps even more important than tertiary education or university or even school education, because children's brains are fully developed by age 8.
Yes.
And if you neglect early childhood education, you are asking for a lot of social unrest in the country. In fact, some economists very bluntly,
James Heckman.
Yeah, they state that either you invest in early childhood education or you invest in prisons.
So in our special report, the unique thing is that unlike most conferences which go unrecorded, everything which happened at India's Education World's Early Childhood Education Conference has been recorded. So all our expert lectures which were delivered by some great early childhood educators, including Dr. Swati Popat-Rats, Lina Asher, Maya Menon, Dr. Amrita Vora and Ezra Croft, all their speeches have been condensed for the larger public to read.
And included in this issue.
Yes.
That's
it's
the
all
important
there
thing.
in the February issue.
Yeah.
And there's a wonderful pictorial essay of all the schools and preschools which were awarded. And
So I think all in all, this is a very interesting and enriching
Yes.
issue,
Yeah.
and
before
we
we-
wholly recommend it to you.
Yeah, and before we sign off, also ParentsWorld has got a very interesting story. Come Feb-March, most households in India, there's a palpable sense of nervousness, anxiety, because it's exam time. So in our very timely ParentsWorld cover story, we've spoken to a galaxy of parenting experts. We've spoken to counselors who have advised parents
Yeah.
as well as children on how they can manage examination stress and give their best.
So we recommend also
Yes.
the Parents World issue.
Absolutely.
For your-
Education World as well as Parents World
Yeah.
February issue. Wealth of information for parents as well as educators.
Thank you.